Welcome back to Gamecock Extra. I'm Chandler Mack. USC will look to get back to 500 on Saturday when they face Florida at Williams-Brice Stadium. Locked On Gamecock podcast host Andrew Lyon joining us now via Zoom. Andrew, on Tuesday, Shane Beamer alluded to the athleticism and physicality that has been displayed by Florida's defense this season, qualities that have helped the Gators rank third in the SEC in total defense. And let's not forget, Andrew, they held the Gamecocks to a season-low 6 points last year in Gainesville. So what are you hoping to see out of the Carolina offense Saturday, considering they are getting Omarion Brown back in the passing game, but will likely once again be without all SEC receiver Juice Wells?
Chandler, I'm hoping to see some balance from South Carolina's offense. I think that when South Carolina rushes for 100 yards or more on the ground in Shane Beamer's tenure, they are currently 15-2. Those two losses coming against the Tennessee Volunteers up in Knoxville. And the Florida Gators, for as good as their defense has been, they have shown a propensity to be able to give up some runs at times, some explosive runs, especially on the edge. Kentucky exposed that a great deal a couple weeks ago when the Gators traveled to Lexington. And so if you're South Carolina with Mario Anderson Jr., how hard he's been running, and I think an offensive line that, again, has been improving, I should say, incrementally over the past couple weeks, you're hoping to see them, give Spencer Rattler a little bit of help and make sure that, again, the Gators can't do what the Volunteers are able to do to a certain extent and just pin their ears back and try to get after the quarterback on Saturday afternoon.
Let's go ahead and shift gears to the other side of the ball, Andrew. The Gamecock defense, they still rank last in the conference in pass defense and total yards allowed. And as Shane Beamer mentioned Tuesday, Gator quarterback Graham Mertz is completing a SEC best 80% of his passes. But Florida is only averaging just under 13 points per game in 2 road losses this season. So do you anticipate that inconsistency from the Gator offense to continue on Saturday? And what will the Gamecock defense need to do for that to happen?
Chandler, I think you will see that inconsistency continue to a certain extent. I think that's very clear this year in all of college football. Home field advantage is an even bigger deal than it has been in years past. And I believe under Billy Napier's watch, since he took over back at the start of 2022, the Gators have only won 1 game out of 8 attempts trying to defeat opponent away from Gainesville, that being a neutral site game or being on the road in general. And so it's very clear that the Gators, they have had their struggles when it comes to playing SEC opponents in particular in their home venue. And so if you're South Carolina's defense, the thing you want to make sure you do in this game is don't let things be easy for Graham Mertz. Make life more difficult. And that means that you got to slow down that ground game. Last year, obviously, that was something that the Gamecocks were not able to do. Anthony Richardson and those 2 running backs and Montrell Johnson and I want to say Trevor Etienne, it made life miserable for that Gamecock defense. So this year, you can't let that happen once again. Make Graham Mertz have to beat you with his arm. And if you can do that, combine that with the crowd, staying in front of the Gators in this game or, keeping things close in the fourth quarter, I think that South Carolina's defense can come through and help the Gamecocks get the W here on Saturday afternoon.